Let me ask you about Secretary Clinton, Senator. Her position is we haven't seen what's in that bill yet, and therefore isn't it prudent to wait, not just have a hot opinion, but wait to see what's in the bill, and then she'll make her determination. That's her view. What do you say?
Well, John, don't you think it's a little bit silly for members of Congress to be voting yes on a bill that they haven't seen? That is one of many reasons to be voting against this piece of legislation. There is no question in my mind, and I think the minds of most Americans, that what our trade policy has been for many years is to allow corporate America to shut down plants in this country, move abroad, hire people at pennies an hour, and then bring their products back into the United States. It is a failed trade policy, and I would hope that the Secretary joins Elizabeth Warren, Sherrod Brown, and the vast majority of Democrats in the Congress in saying, no, we've got to defeat this piece of legislation.
You're drawing a strong distinction there between your view and Secretary Clinton's view on the question of trade. For voters trying to figure out this Democratic primary, what other issues would you say are ones that you have that kind of strong distinction between your position and Secretary Clinton's position?
Well, I am listening closely as a member of the Environmental Committee to what scientists throughout this country and throughout the world are saying about climate change. And what they tell us, it is real, it is caused by human activity, and we have got to transform our energy system away from fossil fuel to energy efficiency and sustainable energy. That is what almost all scientists who study the issue are telling us. I helped lead the effort in the Senate against the Keystone Pipeline because I think if we're serious about reversing climate change, you don't excavate and transport some of the dirtiest fossil fuel in the world. Secretary Clinton has been very quiet on this issue. I voted against the war in Iraq, and I think history will record that vote as the right vote because it led to the incredible destabilization we're seeing right now. Secretary Clinton voted for the war. I voted against the USA Patriot Act, not because I don't think that terrorism is a serious threat to this country. It is, but I think we can combat terrorism without undermining the constitutional rights and the privacy rights of the American people. Secretary Clinton voted for it. But I think the bottom line is the American people want leadership to take on the billionaire class, represent the middle class. I have been doing that for the last 25 years. People will have to judge the Secretary's role in that process.
I want to talk about the role of campaign donations in campaigns. Hillary Clinton, in her speech yesterday, talked about the unaccountable money that's distorting elections. You're only taking small donations. She has a super PAC. Is that one of those distinctions voters, is that a big distinction or little distinction between you two?
I think it is, John. Look, let me be very clear. This disastrous Citizens United Supreme Court decision is undermining American democracy. And when you have a family like the Koch brothers, second wealthiest family in America, going to be spending more money in this campaign than either the Democratic or Republican parties, I worry about us moving to an oligarchy where our political system is controlled by the rich and the powerful. I am raising money from small individual contributions. BernieSanders.com has raised now some 200,000 people have sent in small contributions. I don't have a super PAC. I don't want the money from the billionaires, and that's the way we're going to run our campaign.
Senator, one last question. We have just very little time here. If the system is corrupt, does that also mean that the lawmakers who are accepting money are also corrupt?
It means that you have a campaign finance system which is absolutely corrupt. Look, American democracy does not mean that billionaires should be able to buy elections and buy candidates. We have got to overturn the Citizens United Supreme Court decision. And in my view, John, we've got to move to public funding of elections.
But no, you're not saying your colleagues are corrupt. Just final point on that.
I'm saying that the system is corrupt.
All right.
But people who take this money obey the law. You know, they're not doing something illegal.
All right. Excellent. Thank you very much, Senator.